I love vacuum cleaners. I can't be the only one. I pick them up off the street often because I know that 9 times out of 10, it is either a broken belt or a hose clog, both easy fixes. When my Shark, one of my favorites, was failing and I discovered a split in the lower hose, I immediately watched a YouTube video to see if I could fix it myself. Well, it looked pretty easy. So I ordered a lower hose ASAP online. So after I got those pesky security screws loose with just the right size flathead screwdriver jammed next to the button head security centerpiece, I was ready to party with the lower hose. However, the physics of taking a small hose and screwing it from either side into 2 separate compartments with barely accessible threads soon became apparent. You see, side number 1 will unscrew as you attempt to screw in side number 2. But I was early in my mission, and I was still full of youthful optimism. I added the silicone as suggested in the video I had seen. I turned that hose counterclockwise as instructed. And by golly, I thought I had done it. Time to put my baby back together again. Pop that little electrical cable back into the slot.
That just immediately popped out.
Okay, so round 2. No big deal. I just got to get that lower hose in a little tighter. So I'll just do that and put these little weights back where they came from. And then pop this top back on. Fuck. So round 3, I had the impulse to add more silicone to the mix. I thought it might help. But in reality, it just made a sticky mess of this entire operation. It was a challenge to stay the course, let alone not smash my precious Shark to bits with a sledgehammer.
Okay, well, I think that it just isn't really all that possible to screw something in on 2 sides when it's attached. So
I needed to re-strategize. I decided the silicone needed to be gone. It was stressing me out. I took some time to clean it all up, hoping to formulate a new plan of action. But right now, I needed a clean slate.
I think this hose isn't long enough. Yeah, because with this open, it doesn't reach. The hose is too short.
I felt fairly certain by this point that the hose was simply too short. Yet I continued on with wavering optimism. As William Edward Hickson said, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
It's just simply not long enough. So fuck this. It's not long enough. It's just not long enough.
At this point, I quit. I threw in the towel, went to do some yoga, and as I was in downward dog, I suddenly pictured that if I could screw in one end of the hose to that bottom plastic thread piece without it being attached to the vacuum cleaner, that would solve all my problems. So I rushed back to give that a try. Obviously, not possible. I had redesigned the vacuum cleaner in my mind. It was back to square one. And by square one, I mean just try and try again and again. Fast and furious, slow and deliberate. That's what got me there. And when it happened, it was a hallelujah moment. I dared not celebrate. I held my breath. No glue, just a little plastic hose holding on for dear life.
Right?
Well, I mean, yeah, like one thread on each side, I think.
Well,
Like it was really,
you don't want to
really
stretch that hose a little bit more?
stretch it. I don't know what you're talking about. So this is tight because that hose is so short.
Those super pesky security screws didn't seem like a big deal anymore, not compared to the epic saga of that short, lower vacuum hose, dual screw dilemma. I was walking on air, and I couldn't wait to put my baby back together again.